I'd like to call the Johnson County Board of Education meeting in order for June 26, 2017. At this point in time, I'll turn it over to, first order of business, I'm sorry. 1B, to approve the amended agenda for this evening's meeting. Is there a motion to do so? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, I'll turn it over to Mr. Sager.
All right, appreciate it, Mr. Hudson. This time we want to recognize a lot of our academic teams here in the county. They've done exceptionally well here in the past couple of weeks, especially international CMPS and FPS in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Porter, because she's kind of the state coordinator for some of that. And let her go, and then we'll get to all the teams as we go forward here.
Well, as Mr. Salyer said, we did a fantastic job in Wisconsin, and we want to thank the board for all of their support for us going. When we go to international competitions, everybody kind of goes, oh gosh, it's Kentucky. And then when they say it's Johnson County, they go, oh God, it's them. I mean, so it's they really are threatened by us, and they should be. We did exceptionally well this year at the international competition. The high school team was third in FPS, and it was by 4 points difference between first and third place, so it was very, very tight. The middle school team came in 7th, isn't that right, Ms. Burton? And W.R. Castle's team was 9th, is that right? So junior, middle, and high all had placers in the FPS. Our CMPS team, our CMPS teams, we had a grand champion, Central Elementary, with their project plugged in. And we kind of joked there was almost an international incident between the evaluators, because the Malaysia evaluator was like, oh no, it needs to be this, and then the American evaluators were, no, it needs to be this one, and so it was like, you know, because they really thought that they did such a phenomenal job, and so we joked about an international incident. But their project for providing electricity to an orphanage in Kenya has grown exponentially. What these few kids decided to do has just encouraged other groups to join them. Until now, it's more than what the team had imagined and what Mrs. Mullins could even imagine. They did a phenomenal job. They were the talk of the fair. WR's our CMPS team came in 3rd, is that right? And WR is always a dominating force when it comes to CMPS at international level. What some of the evaluators say, those little Kentucky kids said, I know you give me those because they go, yes ma'am, and they're just so cute, you just gotta love them, yes ma'am, they all say. And so the evaluators love our kids, so it works out real well. And then our middle school team was first place in their division, which was human services, right? Education. Education, they were first place. And the way that CMPS is judged at the international level, there are categories within each division. There are 3 categories within each division. And then there are 3 divisions, junior, middle, and senior. And so we had a first place in a category in education, and grand champion in the junior division. And then in senior division, there is an award that's called the Beyonder Award. And the Beyonder Award is was devised by Dr. Torrance, who decided and created FPS and CMPS. And the Beyonder Award is for a project that is so far above any of the other projects that have been submitted that they can't be scored. It has such lasting impact that paper and pencil cannot do it justice. The Beyonder Award does not have to be awarded every year. It is the choice of the evaluators to determine whether or not there is any project worthy of Beyonder. And this year, our high school team won the Beyonder Award, which receives a $500 stipend. They developed a meter to read for diabetes, and they have already, Mr. Enders has already got to talk with the girls, and they are going to meet with a professor at Moorhead, and they're actually going to build the working prototype to submit. And so that's what they're going to do with their $500 that they've won for the project. I know Mr. Hutchison and I scored this project way back in the fall when it was entering in entrepreneurial competition, and it was very good then. But what they have done past that time and now is phenomenal. The evaluators were just totally impressed with these two young ladies. It was like, have you gone? Have you talked to them? You need to see them. You need to hear what they have to say. They were just totally impressed with how that they could talk, their passion, what they knew about the project, how they developed it, and totally enthralled the entire audience. There were about 3,000 people that came to the CMPS fair, and around their project, you couldn't even get close enough to hear them because people were crowding in to hear it. And one gentleman was standing there and he said, "Oh my, those young women are outstanding. I can't believe this." So Johnson County was very well represented at the Future Problem Solving International. In addition, just a couple of weeks before that, the Quick Recall team went to Washington, D.C., and they competed in Questions Unlimited, a national tournament. And the way that this tournament is run, there are 3 different legs to the tournament, and you can win one leg of the tournament and still not be the national champions. But our team, and we got 2 of them here, our team won the Washington, D.C. leg of the tournament, and then they were crowned national champions because in all 3 of the different divisions we were the only undefeated team, and therefore we have received the title of national champion. You can see the hardware up there. That's something that we brought back, and I know, and the kids, the coaches, principals, we know how much it costs you. We do appreciate every single penny you spend on these kids because it is making our school, it is making our county, it's making our state much, much better. And it will make our world a much better place because these kids are phenomenal. You are investing in the future when you invest in these kids. That's all I have to say.
Would you like to introduce your high school kid? Brenda.
What?
Brenda.
Oh, the in.
You want to introduce your high school kids, the rest of your coaches?
Y'all the ones here, let's.
Mr.
Okay. We don't have.
Gibson back there and Miss Lemaster.
Okay. All right. Well, we have Mr. Enders, who is assistant coach, and Mr. Butcher is in London at a PD, a math PD. Miss Lemaster here is an assistant coach, and Mr. Gibson is the CMPS coach. And we have worked very hard, and I'll let them tell a little bit about what they've done with their kids this year.
Mr. Gibson, you have worked with FPS, well, not the FPS, CMPS team within other aspects prior to becoming CMPS.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because with these young ladies here, it started out with entrepreneur program. Okay, we began there. Miss Porter was in there judging them one day and noticed the product that she came up with. And it built from the entrepreneur program onto skills. So they won the entrepreneur competition with this same prototype. They went on to Skills USA and they won it, and they got an opportunity to go to nationals, which they couldn't get off work to go to nationals, but they did get the opportunity. And then we developed the CMPS project. They worked extremely hard. They basically lived in my classroom this year working on this project. They were there every day. I'd be teaching, they'd be sitting at tables working diligently every day. And I couldn't be more proud of them. They've done very good. You all want to say anything?
Believe me, they do talk.
They found that out at IC, how much they do talk. The FPS team has put out a tremendous amount of work this year. I have two of them back here. The rest are either on vacation or at Governor's Scholar or at a dental appointment if I'm there. Daily, I mean, they have researched on them. They started with 4 districts, researching the topics, writing, working together as a team, and words can't describe how proud I am of these kids, how hard they work. They are incredible, I have to say.
I have one more thing. They wouldn't speak out loud when they first came to me with entrepreneur. They did not like speaking out loud. Now they're speaking in front of everyone with these competitions, and it's awesome to watch them grow like that.
Mr. Enders, you want to talk about national competition?
We went to a national competition in DC, actually just a couple days before, back a couple days before we went to FPS Internationals. And it was a JV competition, and we did things I had not seen our team do before. They played exceptionally well, because they're a JV team. It bodes very well for the future, for what Johnson Central can do. And so, Brandon Fairchild, our captain, is here. And we have JT Dials. And the other 6 people we took along with us all played exceptionally well. And we really separate ourselves from the competition by being a well-balanced team who wasn't afraid to buzz early on questions and really push the envelope in scoring points. So it's very exciting for what's to come in the next couple of years.
Do you want to talk about your CMPS? Yeah. You too?
Okay. Our coaches, Miss Mullins and Miss Duncan, one's out of town, and the other had an emergency arise, so she's unable to be here. But I want first to introduce the 5 members that we have. Stand up just a second. We have 6 here. Okay, stand up, Lauren. We have Lauren Blair. Raise your hand up, Lauren. Chloe Dyer, Brennan Ward, Sarah Perry, Jacob Rubidoux, and Nick Harden. And these are 6 of the 14 members of our team. They, just to say, follow up what Ms. Lemaster and Mr. Gibson talked about, the growth that these students made from the beginning of the year to the end of the year just blew me away. And they were really quiet and unorganized when we started, and as they started, as they prepared more and they studied, they were so much more organized and so much more confident in themselves. And it just blew me away what they ended up doing. They have started a change that they want to continue, and we hope other people continue as well. And they have spread their word throughout our local community and the state and now the international. So we're very, very proud of them. And I want to tell you that I love academics. CMPS, I'm be hard pressed to find something better than CMPS because of the leadership skills that it instills in these students and the importance of being servants. So I'm very proud of every one of
them. We finished 3rd in internationals. Another team is here. They're all on vacation or baseball games, or I think there's some sickness. The 2 coaches are not here as well. I think they're dealing with some sickness in their family, or one of them is. Ms. Sloan has done it in the past. This year it was just too much for one person to handle all of it, so we found a couple others to do it, Ms. Burchett and Ms. Campbell to coach. We finished 3rd at state, and then finished 3rd in internationals, and ours was dealing with fire prevention. And it's just amazing to watch the kids work They had a night to bring people in. They gave away smoke detectors, and it's just amazing how much hard work they put in. But they're very proud of them for 2 years in a row. First 2 years ago and third this year. So very proud of them. We also were ninth in FPS, first time that WR Castle's ever been on the stage. I think through the first 2 or 3 rounds of scoring, we were actually fifth, and then they get in there and start getting down the nitty gritty, I guess, but we ended up ninth, so we're very proud of them. Ms. Sloan, you want to say anything about that team?
Yeah, I was just going to say, at internationals, we've been on the stage for different areas of competition, but I was just extremely proud of all of their hard work. I know all the students in here, they put in the time and the effort throughout the summer to prepare, and it's just amazing what they can do. And I was extremely proud of all my students. And you hear ninth, but 9th out of 63 is pretty amazing. And again, they'll hold a special place because it'll be my first FPS team to make it on stage at IC. So.
Let Ms. Burton speak. Before I do let her speak, I just want to I just want to say how impressed I've been with these kids, the CMPS kids and the FPS kids, and I've used this word quite often talking to different people about our teams, and it's just their ability, how they can inspire other kids, inspire myself. Oftentimes it's kind of hard to be inspired for me personally. But these kids, especially the CMPS group, they did that this year. And also those 2 young ladies from the high school, we talked a little bit briefly about this, but they came over to the middle school during our health rodeo and set up the table and had their little demonstrations and talked to their kids. Then they came back over during the summer just to pick up a letter they asked me to write for them before internationals, and so I was just quizzing them a little bit. And again, they inspired me. Last week I led a professional development for PE teachers, and we spent the whole first half of the morning talking about diabetes, and diabetes in November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and some things that we're going to try to do, and the PE teachers are going to try to do in their schools this coming school year. But again, it's just as a result of those 2 young ladies being able to inspire me. And back to our kids, again, the hard work, the FPS team, they work all year long. And again, like Mr. Cochran said, they do the things that we hope that they're going to receive from an education here in Johnson County. We hope that they're going to build a work ethic and develop leadership skills that's going to help them be successful one day. But I can't say enough about them. Can't say enough about Ms. Burton and Ms. Dyer for all their endless work that they have committed to dedicated to these children. So thank you to especially Ms. Burton.
I want to introduce my kids. I want to start out with the individual FPS person. Brooklyn, would you step forward? We not only had a FPS team and a CMPS team in the state, we also had an individual. Ms. Porter, she was 4th at internationals and only top 3 on the stage.
Right.
So she did a phenomenal job. And guys, what she was doing was collecting dolls and stuffed animals. But through the process, she taught me some lessons. You should see the pictures where she took dolls to some of the nursing homes. Brooklyn, do you want to say anything about your project, honey? Well, they're shy tonight, but I promise you they're not shy. So Brooklyn did, a lot of work, and her mother had to transport her everywhere she went. And when Brooklyn would come and say, I've been here, a lot of work on her part. I want to talk about my CMPS team. Would y'all stand up? We have 8 people. We actually started out with 10. But 2 of our guys have transferred to different schools. Dustin left us back in the first semester and went to Paintsville. And then we didn't lose, we blank. Riley, I know who it is, but we blank. Riley his mother got a job in Pikeville, so we lost him after state. But we have with us tonight 3, and I had to tell you, these 3 girls did do CMPS at WR Castle. So, I mean, I give credit where it goes. And so, girls, stand up and talk about yourself. Introduce yourself. Jules, tell us who you are.
I'm Jules Davis. I'm Lindsay Cochran. And I'm Wesley Jeffers.
And we have 5 other members. One of them is Braden Pickle. I think he's in Michigan. Ava Cochran is camping. Megan Ratliff is gone Rogers Scholars. Where's Savannah Reinballer? She's in Florida. They sent me back text to tell me where they were. And Alyssa, where's Alyssa? Is she camping? Well, they're somewhere, okay? But anyway, yeah, their project was increasing integrating students in Mrs. Dyer's classroom more into the student body. Mrs. Dyer has been a blessing. She opened up her classroom to these kids. And the most exciting thing we can talk about is it changed the climate in our school. We have hundreds of kids now who want to be part of Operation Ordinary. We have them signed up for next year where they're going to be scheduled in a class. They're going to present at KBEC on the 17th of August. They're spreading their idea because the KBEC, like 2 people came and talked to them, and they're going to build they're going to shed that to try to get other schools to sign on to be Operation Ordinary. FPS. You know, guys, 69 middle school teams competed. We were 7th in the world. I've been there a lot. I can tell you, you know, being on the stage is a phenomenal experience. And I try not to pray a whole lot for winning stuff because I know God doesn't want me to. But I prayed twice in my life. 2004, when my daughter was on my team, I prayed. And I prayed this year for 2 groups. I prayed for my middle school team and a high school team because I thought they deserved it. I knew that high school had still been on the stage, but we'd struggled with the UP for a couple years. And so we really worked hard on it, and I have to tell you that out of 30 points, they had a 28 out of 30 on the UP. It means nothing to you, it means everything to them. So thank you, like Ms. Porter said, how do we thank you for the money you spent? Please know it was worthwhile. Please know that. I mean, Ms. Porter and I talk about how much you spend on these kids. I cannot thank you enough for doing it. We go places, and other people can't come and compete because they can't afford it. Thank you. From the bottoms of our hearts, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you want to say anything before you?
Just super proud of all the kids. And we come back every year and we do this in some fashion, recognize some groups. But to the folks who haven't had a chance to be at internationals, and we hear 3rd or 4th or 9th or 7th, and we're proud of our kids. But we don't realize exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about an international competition going up against teams from New Zealand, China, Japan,
Singapore.
Singapore's there every year. Thousands of students, and even there, when our students wear shirts that identify Johnson County, foreigners who you can obviously tell by their accent and their limited English will say, "There's Johnson County." There they go. I think that is just such a tribute to what all of our schools, elementary through high, accomplish every year and have over the years. And sometimes when we come home, and most people in Paintsville have never been to an international FPS, CMPS conference, they don't realize the scope and magnitude, and it's hard to put into words. So when we think about that and talk about that, just realize that these students right here competed with, outperformed students from the very best private, charter, magnet schools from anywhere in the world. And that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. I'm just proud of the kids and the parents.
And the senior kids that compete, because of the way that the school years are run in the Southern Hemisphere, those kids have already graduated that come back. They're already in college, and they're competing against our kids who were sophomores and juniors. So,
Upcoming, not you.
yes, upcoming sophomore. So it is a really rough competition, and the kids do very well. You should be extremely proud of all of them. And I know we are. And, you know, football season's in the fall, baseball season's in the spring, you know, wrestling's this, wrestling. Wait just a minute. Our season started last week at camp.
We did well at camp.
We did well at camp.
We did really well.
This year's
Yes.
over, on to next year.
This one's already passed, we're already working on next year, so. But we go full, we actually, you know, they're gonna be really grateful, they're gonna get the rest of June off. Yeah, so July we'll be working again, so they got a whole week off, and they really appreciate it. That's all I have.
Miss Dyer say something? My FPS kids, I didn't even say their names, I bragged on them. Oh my gosh. Savannah, let's stand up. Lauren, stand up. Come here. Oh my gosh. And stand up with Brooklyn. And then Peyton Sargent's in DE's in Florida at Walt Disney. And I'm not sure where Macy is, but Macy Conley's not here. And Lacey, she's in Disney too. And Lacey Osborne. Did I leave anybody out? Zoe Castle too. Zoe Castle. They're on my team. Miss Dyer, could you not say something? You're so awesome. We love you. We love her. She's wonderful. If you don't know Miss Dyer, you need to meet her. She's awesome. She works hard. Miss Porter, not too many people can keep up with her. This woman can. Did I leave anybody?
I just want to say how proud and excited I am for each one of these students and their accomplishments here. I know the dedication, the time that not only the students put in, but also the coaches put in and the parents, the extra days, the times, the extra errors and things they've done to make this successful for our kids. I saw most of these in the beginning when they were, and as Joey and Tom talked about, public speaking and those type of things, how far these kids have come since the beginning of that. And they presented from Kiwanis to Rotary to our Fire Summit for KVEC and a variety of other places here in the county and events at school and things. And they've worked extremely hard to do that. I just can say I couldn't be more prouder than anyone that's in this facility here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you are welcome to stay or you are free to go, either one.
That's a happy person. See ya, great to see you.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Just put a note on here from time to time. I forgot.
Thank you.
How come we're not on 60 Minutes? We had those kids last week that wanted to play chess, you know, in Mississippi. I said, anybody can play chess.
We are the only school district in the world that has an FPS championships at the elementary level, the middle school level, and the high school level. So we are unique in that aspect, Ronnie.
But you're right, we should be on 60.
Yeah, date mine, 2020,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you help us out with that, Mr. Blair?
Yeah, don't you have some connections?
If I could help you out with that, I wouldn't be here.
That's pretty good.
This time, we'd like to ask Mr. Wright and Mr. Daniels coming forward. I think Mr. Crum is going to make a presentation to them and being part of our high school program here at football for many years and being part of getting it built up off the ground here.
And Mr. Halsey, since you're here, if we get the picture, you ought to come up too, I think, because, you know, just real quick for those here, we had a football banquet, I guess, it's been probably a couple months ago, hadn't it? And we presented rings to all football players and other people that have surrounded the program that have made an impact or difference over time. And although they're not on the board now, I think anybody that's been around the program knows
how much that Danny, Joe, and Doug both have meant to the building of the program, back from getting the turf field to the things that went into making this team. It didn't just happen this year. It's been a work in process, and there was a lot of people that were supportive and behind that. And certainly both of you are at the, among those at the top of the list in your support for the team. So I'd like to give, Manny had these, and he is out of town right now. He would be here too, but here is your ring, and there is your ring.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Russ, somebody want to get a, Sean, you want to get a picture?
I didn't bring my phone.
I got my phone.
I do.
You got yours? All right. Just send it to us right here. We'll get a picture real quick with him. Come in here, Mr. Saturday, you want to get them the picture?
Ready to go?
You go.
You kill a picture with us, you got it.
Show Robin, guys. Yeah.
Because nobody else.
Let's go straight to the top, get that old Robin side.
And Robin, you
Professionals
next.
do it.
Look at Robin.
I just do about 5 or 6 and hope one of them gets.
Does everybody get one? Thank you all, we really appreciate it.
I just want to say thank you, Bob.
We also, I know Brad isn't here, and some were already given out and some have not, and we want to have to make sure that everybody gets one, but I also have here William Fraley's, and I have Melvin's ring right there, okay? And like I said, if there's any still missing, I want to check on all of that to make sure everybody got there, so. But thank you to everybody, honestly. It takes, and same thing with academics, I mean, it takes everybody's support for us to perform at the level we're performing at. It's really unbelievable. I think we take it for granted, honestly, in Johnson County. So many of our own people take for granted, not just in everything, guys. I mean, you look at football, basketball, academics, baseball team, what we've done, softball, I mean, just across the board.
Clubs, organizations.
Clubs, I mean, Hosa, we just had 2 people finish in the top 10 in the nation, and they just flew in at middle of the night last night. Skills USA, we competed well last week.
We just had our second state FFA officer in history.
Yeah, state FFA officer. I mean, we are competing right now in Johnson County at a level that is just unparalleled. I mean, honestly, when you look across the board, and what I love about it is, it's every kid. There's something for every kid right now at Johnson Central High School. You can honestly say, whether it be agriculture or animal science, or it be an academic pursuit with future problem solving, or medical field, or athletics. I mean, there is something for everybody, and it's awesome. I mean, I feel like the support that obviously the board gives, but also the time that our coaches put in. I mean, they're working year round at this stuff, and just the things that we do here that they go unnoticed, like you said, Ron. I mean, they really do. I just don't think that people fully understand just what it takes for us to be at this level, and I appreciate it a lot. I mean, I really do.
I just want to say, I really appreciate this, Bob. And, I've told Bob, I really appreciate that he has been given all that he has, and he gives back. He wouldn't have to do that, but he does. And when he means a lot to this whole county. But like I said, this means a lot to me. But what really got me, what means the most to everyone, is what these kids, what they've done, what they've accomplished. I mean, a small town in eastern Kentucky with all of these accolades that they've received. And it's a shame that we couldn't give them the opportunity for better facilities. Everybody say, well, he's going to talk politics, but I'm not. I'm just saying, with what they've accomplished, with what we've got, look what could have happened if we would have gone that extra mile. And like I say, I appreciate this. Fellas, good luck.
Thank you. I just want to say that, this started a long time ago in all our sports and academics, and we got to, we got down when I first started. We was sort of, a little below average more on most things. And so, we wanted our facilities, everything, our coaches, especially our educators, to be good enough that we can keep our own. We don't want nobody else's. We want our own people to stay home, go to school here. And by doing that, I think we've accomplished a lot.
Sure. Thank you, guys. I
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it.
Next on the agenda, we've got to approve the minutes for May 22nd, 2017, regular meeting, June 5th, and June 19th, special meetings, and bills and payroll through June 30th, 2017. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Second. Motion's made by Mr. Fraley, seconded by Bruce Aaron. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the renovation report. Mr. Sayer.
Yeah, Mr. Adams is out of the meeting today dealing with facilities. KDE's going to do some new processes and procedures, and we're having to go get trained on them, so he's out doing that today. They're doing that across the state in different areas, so again, we asked you to approve the payment to Sherman Carter Barnhart here for their work and things they've done here in the buildings. And also, Mr. Cheek and I just walked through the home economics room. Kevin, if you'd like to say anything
Sure.
about that?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to share with you the progress. I will say this, it's not as exciting, no doubt, to follow. It's a tough act to follow all the academic achievements and athletic achievements that you all accomplished. I go to a lot of districts. I don't see this everywhere, so it's very impressive for me personally to see what you are all able to accomplish with the facilities you have, and I know the home ec was one that we needed to address, and I think this will help you all move forward in that area, in that arena, because if you go over there now, you no longer have gaping holes in the wall, you have finished walls, you have closed up, sealed up holes, you have venting and sinks that was working properly, you have sanitary that's been replaced. The contractor was to achieve substantial completion by July 1st. He's substantially complete as of today. Clay Uden with CMTA will be back on July 5th to do a walkthrough as well. His schedule will not allow him to walk through. He's with Tim today during some of that training. I go tomorrow to do my training as well on the same program so that I can help you all out as well. But only minor things on the punch list, very, very minor. Just some finishes, some caulking, some things that, replacement of electrical outlet cover that was busted, that sort of thing. So I'm very impressed. We do have an issue with some ADA height, some confusion on their part of what they were told and what the contract documents told. So they're going to adjust that height and get that fixed. So everything looks good to me. So they're in good position to be done with everything. Floor looks great.
I would encourage you as a board member to
Take a
stop
look.
in with the high school and look. We've got, I think, about 2 coats of wax on it.
2 coats of wax on it.
We usually put about 5 coats, and it'll shine like a new penny here when we're done here, but it really looks good. It's great to walk in the facility and have all working sinks and everything to that we can provide programs, opportunities for our kids. And again, it's just an example of you using your general fund money to go and support activities across our district.
I think one of the interesting things you'll see, and I pointed this out to the superintendent as we was walking through, when you walk by those drinking fountains, you're going to see a bottle fill station. And it keeps track of how many plastic bottles the district saved by using those bottle fillers. So that's going to be interesting to watch that number. From a green standpoint, and that's something we can use to educate the kids too, help them understand what the impact is of being able to use recycled water bottles and so forth. Any questions about the progress on that project?
Is there a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Let me say just a couple things about our guaranteed energy savings contracts. Mr. Adams, as long as we're with CMTA, Trevor Combs and Jeremy Smith went and visited KDE, make sure that all our documentation and our plan and everything was going to be good going forward, and KDE has assured us of that. We can meet our timelines, deadlines we're looking at, especially when we talk about doing our furnaces at each one of the elementary schools, and high school, and middle school here. So they have assured us that we're doing the right things, and we'll have to be progressing as we go forward here on timeline.
Thank you. Next on the old business, Mr. Yance.
We would ask that you approve the 17-18 reciprocal agreements with local school districts.
Thank you. Is there a motion to do so? Second. Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? If there'll be none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Music.
Yeah, we just need board approval for the revised certified evaluation plan. That was revisions made and recommended by the 50/50 committee based on the Senate Bill 1, 2017 revisions.
You did a first reading of that last month, so this is the second final reading.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, Mr. Yons.
We'd ask that you adopt the amended 2016-17 school calendar. What this does is just adjust for the makeup days that we had to use. We missed for state football championship and then the one day that we missed for weather last year.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6B, Mr. Burchett.
We have before you, a standard agreement for student-teacher placement by Midway University. We'd ask that you approve that agreement. And we don't know if we'll have any placed or not, but we must have it in place in case they do have some students.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Rice and Ms. Sayer.
This is our yearly agreement between the Board of Education and the local Head Start office that just deals with how we manage the program and agree to share facilities and that kind of thing.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, Ms. Sayer.
Again, there was a revision that had to be made to the Head Start salary schedule due to a small cost of living increase that was offered through the federal budget for Head Start. So amendments were made to the salary schedule and are so reflected in the one we received.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, Ms. Sager.
And as a result of all that and the monies that we are given, that is our working budget for the fiscal year for Head Start, as presented to the board and to the main Head Start office over in town. We ask you to approve that as well.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Second. Second. Any discussion? If there be none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Mr. Crum.
This is just for Mr. Andrew Castle. It's just continuing. It's the same position. He is one of the leads with KVEC for the ARI grant, and it's just simply to renew his contract.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Mr. Sayer.
Again, we ask you to approve our dental agreement with Big Sandy Healthcare, memorandum agreement. Dr. Stanbo comes and provides the services here for us at all our schools here in the district. Picked up to about Christmas last year, Dr. Stanbo.
Approximately 1,200 students.
So
Wow.
we would like, it's been
Great.
successful here the last several years in the district. We'd like to continue the program.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Ms. Rice.
This is an agreement between the Johnson County School System and the Kentucky Office for the Blind. It's an opportunity for us to have money to provide transition opportunities for our students that are visually impaired.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? If there be none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Ms. Patton.
Yes, I would like to share with you guys a program that we have found in Johnson County. We've learned about it
We've been studying a program called Exact Path. It's a K through 8 individualized learning program that personalizes learning for each individual student. We can use it for so many different ways in language arts and math. And we can use it with our response to intervention students who are needing some extra help. We can also use it with students that need enrichment or we need to challenge them a little bit more. We can use it in that capacity as well. And also we can use it as a diagnostic testing tool in the lower grades, and for any grade for that matter, in pre and post testing to really look at students' growth from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. We've had the representative come to our district at least 3 times, and the reason I want to share with you the information tonight is on July the 11th, the representative is going to be attending our administrative retreat. Time, we want to make our final decision on the product so we can get all of our teachers trained this summer and be prepared to start the program in August. I think you have in your packet the quote from the company, and just so you know, as of right now, we plan to pay for it through our title programs. We have to have money set aside in Title I for this type of program, and so right now we're currently buying paper pencil products, but this is a total computer-based product. It will work excellent with our Chromebooks that we're already using and will be a good partner with our one-to-one initiative. So we ask that you approve for us to continue looking at this product and also support us if we do say yes to it.
Thank you. Motion? Second? Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Actually, we're just taking the money we've used for 2 other programs the past several years and applying it to this program, so it's kind of been a washout of money, so to speak.
Now, that's who has our... Next, item J, Mr. Fairchild.
Mr. Fairchild is at transportation training this week and asked me to do adopt the $1.25 of the school mileage reimbursement amount for this year. This past year it was $1. 2 years ago it was $1.50. He's wanting to raise some based on what the price of fuels went up a little bit, the cost of parts and things we use here in the district.
Thank you.
Motion made.
Motion made, second? Second. Any discussion? There being none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Mr. Sager.
We'd like to discuss the naming of our baseball facility down here. Historically, in the past, the baseball field has been called the Paul G. Fife Baseball Field due to a long time member of our community here was very instrumental in all the programs going on here at Johnson Central High School, from football, baseball. Came here with the Yankees back in the late 70s. Joe Taylor, who passed away in the past month or so. We would like to discuss naming the Joe Taylor Baseball Complex and Paul G. Fife Baseball Field.
Motion to approve. Motion's made and second. Any discussion? If there'll be none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, Mr. Sager.
You asked me to look at getting school security systems access, kind of what we've done with the readers over Central Elementary on our doors. That's a ballpark price for what it costs about doing it across the district here. So you can instruct us to go forward or wait a little while on that or whatever you'd like, of course, to do with that. But basically put card readers and it will be able to identify who comes and goes within the building 24/7, 365. So to speak. Mr. Burch, you got anything you'd like to?
I'd just say that my experience with it at not only Central Elementary but other locations is a very, very productive system as far as tracking. It provides you more than just access control, but security control as well at the same time. We tied in with camera systems and other things. And I guess Mr. Cochran might want to reference what he experienced at Central Elementary as far as staff and everybody using the facility.
I heard nothing but positives. Everyone was very pleased with how it worked.
Very good.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? I'd like to add, I think this is very imperative that we do this with all of our schools and to get a rough estimate so that we can have a better idea of what we're facing in the future and be able to present it to the public or anybody that is interested, because security is the utmost importance for the kids.
And I think that is doing it in-house here, us buying the product, as we did over Central Elementary, good with our personnel here in the district. So our labor cost is big, but already on payroll, so to speak.
Thank you. Motion's been made. Any other, seconded, any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Mr. Berger.
With the explosion and increase in student offerings and opportunities and activities at middle school, high school, everything we're trying to do student-wise, it creates a pretty heavy load on our folks, elementary level as well. We'd ask that the board create a itinerant middle school assistant principal position that help us offset those loads. We don't see any much increased cost to the district as a whole, but it's definitely needed, and I think the middle school would be happy with that, and we could also apply that person somewhere else in the district for an identity position.
Thank you. Is there a motion to create this?
So they.
Second? Second. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? There being none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the student trips, Mr. Halsey.
We have two just routine in-state overnight trips. Our FFA organization will be traveling to Hardinsburg Leadership Training for a week, July the 8th through the 14th, and then we would ask that you approve an overnight trip for our FFA group to the State Fair on August the 17th and the 18th. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Mr. Cotton.
We'd like to ask for the use of our facilities for Tom's Creek Field Baptist Church. They are doing a youth field day, and all the paperwork is in order.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the acceptance of Darien Bakery bid. Mr. Gold.
She had to take her daughter to emergency daily appointment, so I told her I would step in for her. We ask you to approve Darien Bakery bids, low bid as presented.
Thank you. Is there a motion to do so? Second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Superintendent?
Again, once again, we asked you to approve and accept the property liability and casualty bid. We did put that out to bid. It's about a $7,000 savings from last year, so got a little better deal to bid it out.
Thank you. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Ms. Rice.
This is a service agreement between the school system and Mountain Comprehensive Care for them to provide services to their patients and check on them in the schools to make sure they're doing well.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Ms. Rice.
This is a SITES agreement. It's an agreement with Mountain Comprehensive Care again. They'll put a therapist and a therapeutic assistant in a classroom to help with students that are emotionally and behaviorally disturbed.
Thank you. Motion to approve, second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, Ms. Rice.
This is with KVC. This is another counseling group to provide services in the school system, and they mainly look at middle school and high school students, and they provide services and make sure they're doing well in school.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Also, you have the superintendent's personnel report. At this point in time, I'd like to get a motion to recess into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810B and to discuss future acquisition of real property. as well as KRS 61.810C to discuss proposed or pending litigation, and KRS 61.810F for discussion which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an employee. Can I get a motion, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, motion carries. We're now going to be going into executive session for Mr. Sager. Thank you. Thank you all for coming out tonight.